This is video number 26 in the series, and in this video we're going to go ahead and jump right in and finish up our syllable reading exercises in Alto Clef and do a couple in Soprano Clef as well, which we started last time. Then we're going to move on to a couple Danhauser exercises, one from his second book in Treble Clef in F major, and the other one's also in F major, but from his third book, and it's actually going to be our first example in Alto Clef. So let's go ahead and get to that first syllable reading exercise in Alto Clef. All right, number 25 looks like this. Nothing too extreme. We're going to take it about like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to give you a count of 4 like that. So go ahead and do some syllable groupings as we usually talk about, putting an accent on the first syllable of each of your groups. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fa, sol, si, re, fa, la, sol, la, si, la, do, si, do, re, mi, la, sol, la, si, do, mi, do, si, la, si, re, do, si, sol, re, mi, fa, la, do, re, mi, do, si, la, sol, mi, sol, la, si, re, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, do, mi, fa, do, la, sol, fa, mi, do, sol, fa, si, la, sol, mi, do. All right, now we're going to look at one that has a little bit more stepwise motion. It's number 27. We're going to take this one a little bit faster. It's in triplet notation, so we'll go ahead and give you a count of 3. It'll be about like this. 1, 2, 3. So concentrate on your groupings. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, sol, la, si, do, mi, sol, do, re, mi, sol, si, re, sol, la, si, do, la, fa, sol, mi, do, sol, fa, re, si, sol, fa, mi, do, sol, mi, do, si, do, sol, mi, sol, fa, re, si, sol, fa, sol, do, fa, re, do, si, sol, fa, mi, si, la, sol, mi, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, sol, la, mi, sol, re, do, fa, re, si, sol, mi, do, la, sol, do, mi, sol, fa, re, si, sol, fa, re, si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. All right, so to conclude our syllable reading exercises in Alto Clef, we're going to go ahead and do the very next one, number 28, which is in 16th note notation. And it looks like this. A lot of stepwise motion, but definitely some leaps as well. Take a look at it for a second. So we're going to take this one a little bit faster, about like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And I'll give you a count of 4 like that since it's in 16th note notation. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fa, sol, la, si, do, la, si, sol, fa, la, re, fa, mi, do, si, re, do, la, sol, do, fa, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, la, fa, re, si, sol, mi, fa, sol, la, si, sol, mi, do, re, sol, la, sol, do, mi, sol, la, si, do, la, fa, do, sol, mi, do, si, sol, fa, re, si, sol, mi, do, sol, la, mi, sol, re, mi, do, fa, la, do, fa, do, mi, re, si, sol, do, si, sol, mi, fa, do, mi, re, do, sol, si, la, fa, sol, la, si, do, la, si, sol, fa, la, do, fa, re, si, sol, mi, do, sol, fa, do, la, fa. All right, so that's going to do it for Alto Clef syllable reading exercises. I hope that you continue to practice that and go through all the other examples that we did not cover in this series in Alto Clef. Let's go ahead and move on to an exercise in Soprano Clef. It's number 5. And it looks like this. So remember, in C Clef, our points of reference are going to be C and G, as we talked about in the last video. So let's go ahead and do this one. We won't take it too fast. It'll be about like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll give you a count of 4 like that. All right, so let's do it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Si, re, sol, do, fa, re, la, re, si, do, sol, si, do, re, fa, sol, la, do, re, mi, re, si, sol, re, si, do, fa, la, do, fa, re, si, la, sol, re, fa, do, la, re, si, do. And let's go ahead and look at the very next example in soprano clef, number 6. Looks like this. Notice that we're adding a further reference point. In the last video, we saw that our reference points were C, G, and C, which are the first 3 notes of this exercise. And notice that we're adding the G, or the sol, at the top of the staff as well. So we'll take this also at a relatively slow tempo, about like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll give you a count of 4 like that. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, sol, fa, la, sol, re, si, sol, fa, re, la, sol, do, re, la, fa, re, si, do, fa, re, sol, fa, re, la, si, re, fa, si, sol, la, do, fa, re, si, do. All right, so remember, like I mentioned last time, you'll see that clef a lot in Renaissance music, and you also will see that clef in keyboard music. It was the primary clef for the right hand into the 18th century. So let's go ahead and move on to some Danhauser exercises. We're going to do 2 of them, both in F major, 1 in treble, 1 in alto. Let's get to that first one in treble. It's number 23, and it looks like this. You might want to put your video on higher quality if this looks a little bit fuzzy, or make the screen bigger. But let's go ahead and take a look at this one. What do you see? Do you see any modulations? If so, what are they? Where are the accidentals? All right, so you might notice that we have a section that appears to be in C major, which isn't such a surprise in F major, as it's the dominant. And then, what is this key signature change there? Do you recognize that? That's going to be the parallel minor, F minor. So, not such a huge surprise there either. And then at the end, you can see that we are back home in F major. So take a look at the dynamics for this one as well, and the articulations, pretty detailed. So let's try to take all those things into account in our performance. So I'm going to highlight the places in this piece that are in different keys. We're not going to stop at those points, but we're going to keep them in mind. And we're going to take this at the pretty speedy tempo indicated of 92 to the half note. So I'm going to recommend the same thing that I did in the last video, that if you don't feel comfortable with that speedy tempo, to first go ahead and read through this a couple times, maybe in the stop method, before going ahead and singing along with me using the recovery method. So I'm going to give you 1 and 2, and then we're going to come in on the fa. But let's go ahead and do a quick warm-up in F major. Fa, la, do, re, si, sol, mi, fa. So it's going to start like this. 1 and 2. Fa, la, si, do. In order to make this a little bit easier to read, I'm going to go ahead and split it into 2 slides. So the first one's going to look like this, and the second one's going to start at the section that's in F minor and continue to the end. So let's go back to that first slide and go ahead and begin. 1 and 2. Fa, la, si, do, si, la, re, do, si, la, sol, la, si, la, fa, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, do, si, la, sol, fa. Fa, la, si, do, si, la, re, do, si, la, sol, la, si, la, fa, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, do, si, la, sol, fa. Do, fa, mi, fa, sol, la, si, sol, la. Do, fa, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, sol, la, si, do, sol, la, fa, mi, sol, fa, mi, re, do, do, si, do. Fa, la, si, do, si, la, re, do, si, la, sol, la, si, la, fa, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, do, si, la, sol, fa. Fa, do, re, si, do, la, si, la, sol. Fa, sol, la, si, do, re, si, do, la, fa, do, si, la, sol. Mi, la, fa, re, si, la, sol. Mi, la, sol, la, si, do, re, si, do. Mi, la, sol, la, si, do, re, si, do. Mi, do, la, si, re, si, sol, la, do, si, re, si, la, sol, la.
fa do do re si do la sol fa sol la si do re si do la fa do si la sol do si do si do si do si do si la re do si la fa la si do re mi fa do si la sol fa sol la si la sol fa.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our first example in Alto Clef from Danhauser's third book. It's an F major. And it looks like this. We have an indicated tempo of 69, but because this is the first time we're taking a look at this clef, I'm going to go ahead and take it at 60, which is going to be about like this. 1, 2, 3. And I'll go ahead and give a count off like that with 3, and then we'll come in on the fourth. So we're in the same key. Pay attention to the articulation. You can see the dynamics are relatively easy for this piece. The whole piece is relatively quiet. And we're in the same key of F major.
Fa, la, do, re, si, sol, mi, fa.
So the first notes are
fa, sol, la.
All right, let's go ahead and do this one. Give you a count of 3. We come in on the fourth beat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fa, sol, la, do, si, la, si, sol, fa, mi. Fa, la, sol, fa, mi, fa, la, do, si, la, fa, sol, la, do, si, la, si, sol, fa, mi, sol, la, do, la, fa, mi, re, do, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, fa, la, sol, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, la, si, do, re, do, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, sol, la, si, re, do, si, la, fa, sol, la, do, si, la, si, sol, fa, mi, do, fa, sol, la, fa, re, si, la, sol, fa.
All right, that's going to conclude it for this video. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and continue our work with soprano clef. We're going to introduce tenor clef as well, and do a few exercises from Danhauser's second book as well. But until then, happy sightseeing.